had most of your career, or most of your racing career in DTM. Can you maybe walk first into comparing DTM and your DTM car to the R18?
Yeah, I mean, huge differences between the two. The first thing I noticed straight away was the increase in downforce from the DTM car to the Le Mans car. Specifically in the high-speed corners, there's a lot more downforce, which creates a lot more grip. So you have to get used to going through quick corners much faster. The Le Mans car, it's because it's slightly bigger. In the slow corners, it doesn't feel as agile as the DTM car. The DTM car feels much more aggressive in the slow speed corners, over the curbs, also change of direction. But in general, is also driving position and sat in the cockpit's quite different. Visibility, especially in the Le Mans cars, quite difficult compared to the DTM car. You really have to get used to poor visibility where you can only see straight in front. Your visibility to the left or right quite limited. But you soon adapt to it, as you do to the extra downforce levels, and it's not long before the Le Mans car feels like home again.
They say the R18 visibility was not so great last year. I think the driving position's been changed a little bit. They have the screens now for the rear view, but can you describe how much you see?
I mean, it's definitely been a huge improvement. When I first drove the car, I found it very difficult, and since then we've made small changes, but they've had a huge impact for the driver. When you sat in the car, you've got the A pillar that comes down both sides. We also have, so what that means is when we turn into a corner and you're looking for the apex, quite often this A pillar's in the way, but we've managed to make it much better now, so visibility is much improved, and I hope from this you're going to see less incidents than we have in previous years. But compared to the DTM car, for example, the DTM car, you've got a vision sort of almost 180 degrees forward, whereas here some of that's partly blocked, but like I said, it's been a great improvement by Audi. They've also increased they've made other improvements in terms of we have the rear view mirror, or the rear view screen, sorry, and that projects the image from behind the car, and it allows you to see when you overtake, you can see that you passed safely and you can move back in.
You were a rookie here at Le Mans, rookie of the year, with Cullis, and of course now you're back. Could you explain your decision to come back?
The moment I arrived and the moment I took part in the race, I knew I wanted to come back. The decision to come back was very easy. It was just getting the opportunity, and I'm very grateful to Audi. They've put their faith in me to join the Works squad. What a great opportunity it is. 4 Works cars. I've got some of the best teammates in the world to learn from, and I just hope that myself and my 2 teammates can do a good job this weekend.
It seems like you're pretty well set. Within Audi, how do you think you'll do against your teammates?
Like you say, we're very fortunate. We've got H. We're a very experienced engineering crew. To say how we'll do against the other cars is very difficult. For sure, they've got a lot more experience over the car, with the 3 drivers compared to, say, myself, Marco and Rockenfeller. We're very fortunate to have Mike. He's got he's won here. He knows what it takes to win here, as does H. But, to compare ourselves is quite difficult. But I hope we can take the fight to them. I hope we can prove we're competitive and prove we've got the speed.
In a situation like Le Mans, where you're spending so much time with the drivers, it seems like, of course, you knew your teammates before from the DTM, but Mike, of course, was on the DTM squad. How much more important is it? How much easier does it make it for you when you know these guys quite well?
Like you said, I've been part of Audi. This is my 5th year, so I felt like I already fit in with the team, even though it's a new department with the LMP side and different drivers. I know all the guys very well.
I'm sorry, I meant more Cullis.
Okay.
Christian Albers.
Yeah, Christian Albers.
As well, but they were not on the Audi team.
Yeah, I mean, I also had a great relationship with them, I have to say, especially when we drove together. It's always difficult because when you're competing against each other in DTM, you have a relationship, but it's a very different relationship. Whereas when you come and you share a car, you have to be much more open, because you want your teammates to be quick as well. When you're in a DTM car, your first sort of real competition is your teammate. He's the guy you need to beat the most. Whereas here in the Le Mans car, the two guys in the same car as you, they're there and you need them to be as quick as they can because you're working together as a team. So I have to say my relationship with Christian Albers and also Christian Backerud, who unfortunately now passed away, very sadly, was fantastic as well. Moving across to Audi, again, I fitted straight in with Marco Bononomi and also Mike Rockenfeller. So it's been very similar, but of course I knew Mike before from sort of 4 years of DTM.
Experience in the R10, right? From a driving perspective, that car was completely different from today's R18. Can you kind of explain the differences of how you approach these works?
For me, I mean, visibly the biggest difference is the fact that the R10 was an open cockpit compared to the R18. It also made a big difference in terms of driving. Visibility was different. In traffic you could see much more. Also, it meant in the wet, when it rains, with that open cockpit, it made life that little bit easier. But the R18, with the closed cockpit, got huge advantages in terms of aero. The aero's been a huge step forward since the R10 days. The power's quite a bit less from the rules, but Audi have done a fantastic job to reduce drag. So actually, in terms of straight line speed, we're running very similar to what we were when I drove the R10. It's just in a different way, with a reduced power, but much less drag. But for me, the biggest surprise has been the downforce in the Porsche curves. Compared to what we did back in the R10, it's been a huge step forward.
I understand the handling has been much more for R18.
Yes.
Did you spend much time in the R18 prior to the Ultra?
No, very little in fact. I did a few tests, but from what I hear from the guys, they've done a fantastic job over the winter to improve what was already a great car. And it looks like they've really made a step forward in the handling, not just aerodynamics, but also from the mechanical grip, from suspension and slow speed corners.
Tonight is the first track session that you get some laps this evening.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be in the car second, but I've got to say, I can't wait. We've been here, what feels like a long time and not yet driven. So to get in the car finally, we're all looking forward to it. And it's our first chance to really see where everyone's at. We've got the test session from 4 till 8 and then qualifying tonight. That will also be the first time driving at night here at Le Mans since I raced.
Did you get much of a look on track at the Toyota during the testing through the day?
Actually, I have to say I was never behind the Toyota. I mean, so I only saw from the times, but it looks like they've done a really good job over the winter to come here and be so quick straight away with such little preparation time. It's looking like it's going to be a fascinating race, and I think they're going to be very competitive.
Thank you very much.